Alright, let's get into it. So first of all, forgive my voice. I've been talking basically non-stop for 2 days already, and I have to shout over the machine gun next door. But I'm Ryan Seabury. I'm the creative director on LEGO Universe at NetDevil. We are the developer of the game, and been working with LEGO now for about 4.5 years. Just on the development of this, it was actually an idea at LEGO for over 11 years. We've sort of been waiting for the technology and the consumer marketplace to catch up with where the vision is. So the vision was really about a new way to play with LEGO going into the future. So the MMOG is sort of the delivery vector of that. It's actually a whole new creative play experience in disguise. But it is a full MMOG. So given that it is an MMOG, and if you know anything about online games, and we have half an hour to demo, we're not going to see a lot of the MMOG actually. In fact, we're going to mostly focus on what makes this particular game different than all the other MMOs that are out there. And that is quite simply that it is LEGO actually. And not just because we slapped a logo on it, but because we actually looked at it as a new way to play with LEGO, and the whole spirit of LEGO play and the new experience here. So, having said that, we'll hop on in and start looking at it. So, a big theme throughout it from an experience point of view is playfulness. That's the overall takeaway we want the player to have. So you notice everything's very playful. The minifig at the start is reacting to what you're doing. He covers his eyes when you type in your password, which, by the way, is actually instructional because we're going to have a lot of kids playing the game, and safety is a huge priority for us. That tells kids they should keep their password safe. We actually got that from testing. That little simple animation was much better than actually telling them in text or something like that. So we're always trying to instruct visually as well. You get 4 character slots with your account login. Minifigs react. They don't really like being deleted very much, obviously. But unfortunately, we've got to delete somebody to show you the new character creation process. That little spark you see in the middle of the silhouette, that's a creative spark. It's like the soul of the minifigure. It's actually made of pure imagination, and it can never be extinguished, which means a minifigure can never actually die. You can smash it to pieces, but you'll rebuild around your creative spark. Okay, so if you play the console games, you play as Luke Skywalker, Indiana Jones, Batman. This game is not about them, this game is about you. This is your story in LEGO Universe. You get to create your own LEGO minifigure, your own identity, which is pretty cool. I can tell you because I actually have business cards that look like me, and that is awesome. But you have even more options in the game to do that. You have all the different hairs and all the different face elements, and tons of shirts, and all these different legs and everything. So that's just the beginning of actually the customization you can do. There's thousands and thousands of accessories in the game you'll earn and unlock, giving different looks and feels, and also abilities. Another safety feature here, automatic name generator. You can choose from a list of sort of pre-populated silly names to make a new name for yourself. Of course, you can also do a custom name if you'd like to, but it has to go through moderation before other players can see it. On that note, all user-generated content will be moderated by a human before it's seen by other players. Which just sounds like a tall order if you consider there might be millions of people playing the game and submitting content, and it is a tall order, and I'll talk about that more later. Okay, this is a development build. We're on early hardware for the EU beta that's coming up in a couple weeks. So there's some missing bits like the story cinematic that'll play here. It's about 2 minutes. You just saw the tail end, 3 seconds of it. I'll summarize as quickly as I can. Off in the distance, there's the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom is a swirling vortex of dark chaos. It's destructive and wants to break everything it touches, so it's threatening the universe and it's spreading. That's where you come in. You're coming to join the Nexus Force. The Nexus Force is a band of minifigure heroes that have come together to battle the Maelstrom and save imagination, which is the underlying energy force in the LEGO Universe. And therefore save the universe. So, in a nutshell, you're here to save the universe. Small job. No problem. Okay, so on your way in, you're coming in on a spaceship, but the Maelstrom attacks your spaceship on the way to join. So now you're on the collision course straight into the black hole, which is not a good place to be, so you need to get off the spaceship. So that's your immediate goal. It gives us a nice, exciting backdrop to teach you the basics of the game in essence, right? Little platform and all that stuff, control the camera and all that stuff. Now, again, we're not going to spend a lot of time actually playing the game part. We're going to skip around. This is going to be very jarring in terms of the demo, but we're going to try to get to the LEGO play elements a lot faster. We'll give you beta keys at the end of this if you haven't played already. It's also going on the show 4 down there, so you can get more into the quest and what you can do, progression and all that stuff down there. Okay, so some familiar elements also from the console games. Smashing LEGO models. You can quick build what we call quick build when you come up to a pile of Lego bricks. One difference for us is that it actually uses imagination to power that. You also use imagination as an energy source to power your special abilities. Okay, so Lego said to us, that's cool, it's a good feature to start from, but we want this to really be about creative play and a new way to play with Lego, so how are you going to do that? And we said, well, we're not going to throw a bunch of bricks in front of the player's face right at the start of the game and say, hey, start building things and break at a time, because as we very quickly found out, that's not quite the same experience. You can't translate it literally from the real world into the computer. Like putting things, Lego bricks together in real life has a certain fun quality to it, right? Digging through your bin of Lego stuff. It's not the same on a computer screen. You can't do that, actually. Maybe with Connect we can now in a couple years, we'll see, but as we were building this, that wasn't a possible option. So, what we did instead is that we want to get you to these deeper creative play features where you can really completely build with Lego, but let's ease you into it, right? Let's keep it accessible all the way through and kind of have this journey into creative play. So the first step is modular building. So you find these little build areas. When you find one, you can put on your thinking hat, which is an item you get in the spaceship, and that puts you into this creative state. So you don't have to worry about bad guys or hazards or time pressure or other players. You just be creative with the Lego that you've already found. In this case, the build area is to make a rocket, which is a great way to escape a spaceship that's crashing into a black hole. Everybody's going to do this at this point in the game, and so everybody will build a rocket, but everybody's rocket's going to be a little different because we've all collected different modules. So a little bit of customization and creativity creeping into the game features. But at the same time very accessible because it's 1, 2, 3, you're done, you can swap the piece out if you want. And now that you've built your rocket, you can use it on these conveniently labeled rocket pads all over the place. Since it turns out a rocket is actually a great way to travel between the different worlds of the universe. So in essence, we just custom design and build our own transform mechanic to get us through the game. So a quick look at the loading screen there shows you a peek at some of the other worlds that are out there in the universe. These are all fragments of a planet that has been destroyed by the Maelstrom, so many figures have been scattered across galaxies. So, we're going to zoom down to the closest world we can actually get to, which is a place called Avant Gardens. Normally a pretty peaceful and chill place, you can tell by the name, but it turns out the Maelstrom got here before you did and messed everything up. And that's a story template that we kind of repeat. The Maelstrom got here first, messed things up, you got to help. We also start meeting members of the Nexus Force here. So the Nexus Force is actually divided into 4 different factions. You'll be able to join these factions later in the game. First we want you to play a bit and learn about them, because they each have a different personality and philosophy and playstyle. So we'll start taking some missions here. The first guy you meet is a guy from a faction called the Paradox. The Paradox are interesting, they kind of play with fire. They're like on the edge of it. They're researching the Maelstrom to figure out if they can use it against itself. So this research facility here, some of their experiments have escaped with the Maelstrom attack. So now you've got to help them kind of deal with that. That's also why the Sentinels are here, where you get to sit and talk to this guy. The Sentinels are a faction that gets called in first whenever the bad guys show up, whenever there's trouble around. So we're going to skip actually doing most of the missions here again because we want to focus on the Lego side, and you can do missions in other games. We will run a few cheat commands really quickly just to show you what you get from doing some of these missions and from some of the achievements you get around the game. So, to say it simply, you get a lot of stuff. You get bricks, you get models, you get consumable items that power your character. More importantly, you get gear that you can actually equip. All of your abilities in LEGO Universe come from items that you equip. You do not choose a class in LEGO Universe. You do not have experience points in LEGO Universe. You do not level up in LEGO Universe. All your advancement, it's much more of like a Legend of Zelda type of design pattern, right? You get a bunch of items, your capabilities increase, but you can only equip so many at a time. Okay, so what Chris is actually putting on right now is a progression of a special kind of item called specialty kits. So this is a way to specialize and sort of build yourself into a class if you want to by combining a bunch of pieces. So he's turned himself into a knight because he's joined the Sentinels, and those pieces are actually available through the Sentinel faction. And now he's got a bunch of uber knight abilities. Now he's not trapped as a knight forever because a minifig shouldn't be trapped in one particular role. You should be able to reinvent yourself on a daily basis. So if you want to, you can be a wizard tomorrow. You can also put your wizard hat on and leave your knight sword out and combine both abilities. Now a quick note about the Maelstrom is if you keep smashing the bad guys, they're just going to keep coming back. You're basically just feeding destructive energy into the Maelstrom. That's what it lives off of. So You have to be creative and use imagination to build to actually battle it for good. So if you take this robot and build him into a turret, he's not going to respawn as fast as all the other little bad guys will. Plus you get a nice turret to help you shoot the other guys. So again, we're running through this at a pretty fast pace. We're skipping all kinds of stuff, but we reached a new location here where the Sentinels have set up camp. You can get a whole bunch more missions here. There's more things to build, more things to smash. They like to keep these Dobermans as guard dogs. Later on in the game, you can learn the ability to tame pets, so you can come back and tame one of these for yourself. There's actually 19 unique animals throughout the universe that range from cute to dangerous, so you can tame all of those. There are mini games you can unlock as you do different missions. Over here, we've got a survival mini game, so you can go in with 4 players, gear up, and see how long you can last against endless waves of strong winds, which are bad guys in this area. You can also, of course, shop. If you've gotten a ton of stuff, you can sell it at the shop. Buy things with your coins, gear, consumable items, and whatnot. Mailboxes so you can send letters back and forth to your friends, some coins, some goodies, all that stuff. Okay, so a lot of MMO stuff there. We'll skip ahead to another area and look at it real quick. This is a monument. And it's here to commemorate the struggle between minifigures of the Maelstrom. This is actually being built by the Assembly. This is another faction in the Nexus Force. The Assembly are like obsessed with building. Even though every minifigure can build in the universe, these guys take it like a religion, so they're like the experts in building. So they always build ridiculously huge things like this. Conveniently, it's located here because the Maelstrom just destroyed the road that gets you to the next area, so you got to find a way up the monument, which is like an obstacle course. So once you do that successfully, you can actually build a race course back through it, time yourself up, that results on a leaderboard, and you can compete with your friends that way and unlock different achievements for bronze, silver, and gold times. Now we can get up to the road, we can get up to the next area, which is the social hub, where we can do more social stuff. We can hang out with other NPCs from all walks of life. We got pirates hanging out with ninjas and cowboys and astronauts and robots and monkeys. They're all chilling there together. Go up and interact with them. They'll give you little chat tips about what's going on in this world and also some of the other world as well. More shops to buy stuff at, so you can buy more bricks, you can buy models, you can buy accessories and clothes for your character. More models to smash. If you need to get a few more coins to get that thing you want in the shop. Power up your character with more hearts and imagination. If you found more rocket modules, you can customize your rocket further. You can take that rocket to other worlds that are off in the distance by any rocket pad that you find. Over there at Nimbus Station, you'll actually be able to build your own custom race car and race against your friends, just like you did with rockets. This rocket pad's a special one. This one's going to take us to property worlds. Nexus Force is actually sending all the minifigures out on missions to go reclaim these worlds from the Maelstrom and settle them to drive the Maelstrom back. So this is where we take the fight to the Maelstrom. This is also where we start to separate from all the other MMOs that are out there, where the game gets quite a bit different. I'd say take a break right now. Let's look back at all we've seen so far. This is pretty vanilla MMO stuff, right? Created a character, we've adventured, we've taken quests, we've done a bunch of achievements, we've tamed some pets, we played some mini games, we're hanging out with our friends now, we're socializing, we're chatting, we're doing emotes. Actually with the emotes, that's another point, you actually unlock a whole bunch of emotes as you play through the game. So the more you play, the more expressive your minifigure actually becomes. So when you see a guy doing a cool thing like hovering ninja style, you know it's pretty badass. Alright. Now since LEGO Play is basically infinite possibilities, and we don't have Infinity today to demo, we've boiled Infinity down to a minute and a half in a nice little video to show you the potential. We're going to go watch that and we're going to go zip back into the game so we can look at a little more detail of what it's like to actually build it. I'll just talk through this real quick. Okay, all in-game footage. So, this is a property world. It's totally infected with Maelstrom. Lots of bad guys here. Scary place. We're going to put on some of our gear so we get a little bit tougher and we have some abilities to deal with bad guys. We're going to find the generator that's causing them to spawn. Take those bricks, build it into something useful that'll help us reach this trapped imagination up here. If we do that, that causes a great imagination explosion, takes out